Walking your new puppy is not rocket science, but it does require some patience and time. I'm going to show you how I was teaching my puppy, Nola, how to walk with me with a leash. There are a few procedures that you use, but most of it is just about doing it over and over again. In 20 minutes a day, at least, walking with a leash and teaching your puppy how to heel is probably the minimum. Start in your backyard where there are few distractions and just take a fairly short distance and walk back and forth. Nola is definitely picking up on some of these techniques, but she's far from perfect. Note that I'm using part of the leash. I'm probably giving her between 2 and 3 feet of room, just enough so that it'll go slack when she walks in the correct place beside me. That way it's relatively easy to control her when she goes to the left or the right, and I can pull her back when she starts pulling forward. If she's pulling forward really hard, I may give the leash a slight jerk and step back 2 or 3 steps to give her time to relax and change her direction. I may even stop for a time if she gets too excited and give her time to relax and center on the task at hand. If she starts jumping or biting the leash, I may stop completely for a time until she relaxes and begins to focus on the task at hand. You can see here that she's beginning to lose patience with the walking exercise, which tells me it's time to stop working on this particular training. Puppies have a short attention span, and if you try to go beyond what they're capable of paying attention to, you're going to have nothing but trouble. So when they get to the point that they're difficult to handle, save it for another day. Nola's about 4 months now, and I've been walking her regularly for a couple of weeks, short distances for 2 weeks before that. You can see right now we're in a different location. We're walking down the bike path. She was doing pretty decent in the yard, and I want you to see how quickly she gets distracted here. You've just got to stay on top of her. We did a couple of miles, and after about the first half mile, she started straightening out and walking pretty well. She improves every day we do this, and all it takes is time. While you pull on your puppy to get her to meet your training needs, I don't believe in things like choke collars that put too much stress on a dog. If you start early enough and keep your training consistent, you'll never need anything like that. One of the hardest things about pulling back when she pulls on the leash is overcorrecting. If the leash is slack, you have to leave her alone. Don't correct her when the leash is slack. And that's kind of a coordination problem, because you'll tend to start correcting her as soon as she starts moving beyond where she should. But if the leash is still slack, leave her alone.